We rolling. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of For the Culture Live podcast.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Nick Alexander. Here to my left is the shower cap homie,
The comedian Bones,
Ty Sterling.
aka Ty Sterling.
Had a quick little hiatus. We took the week off. Just want to catch up, my mans. How you been, bro?
I've been good, man. Just chilling. I got a little full-time job thanks to you.
Hey.
And
So
I just been doing that all week.
Well, how you like it?
I mean, it's easy. I mean, 2 days straight I ain't do shit.
I
was
see
just
you
sitting
active
on-
on Twitter. You have all the
yeah.
free time.
Oh man, I'm all over Twitter now.
Yeah.
Because I got too much time on my fucking hands.
That's what's up. Hey, man.
I went viral on Twitter actually.
You have a gift now, right?
Yeah, everybody's using my GIF on Twitter
He's
now.
gift
so,
famous. This
yeah.
the one where you like.
Yeah.
Are you in the shower cap?
Nah, I'm not in the shower cap, unfortunately. Like it was a thread. You know how the girls do the thread, like, oh, if you thick, drop your pics below. And this thread was like, I want to see that pussy. And then so a bunch of girls was dropping their pussy, and then I dropped the GIF in there, like, what the fuck? And then everybody started taking that and using it for other shit. It got like 3,000 retweets.
You're like my second friend who's actually a GIF famous.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, my comedian homie in New York is his name is JP Justice. He has the meme with the facts where he takes the thing. And he's the facts.
Okay,
the
okay,
light-skinned
okay.
dude.
Yeah,
That's him.
yeah.
And he pulls out the
okay.
thing and he looks directly to the camera.
Yeah.
So I know the facts man, and I know your pussy stink. What's yours?
It's the look is kind of just like,
It's a stink look.
yeah, it's like a stank look.
And-
I can't
oh,
believe
so
y'all doing that.
situational.
Yeah, it's situational.
Okay. All right. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got a funny story from last night. So I go to hang out with my homegirl. She was like, I'm at my friend's place. He had a nice loft downtown. Just come through and hang out. So I was like, all right, I'll pop up for a little bit.
Oh yeah, you told me about it. Yeah.
So I go to the crib. She wasn't having no outside guests, so that's what I was too. I was like, all right, never mind. So I go there and I'm trying to park the car. And everybody knows if you live or hang around downtown LA, parking is very, very difficult. It's just not a lot of meters, a lot of red shit on the sidewalk, and you gotta like really scramble to find a spot, especially when you're like near all the nice little apartments, right? So I finally see a spot, right? But I'm like passing through homeless niggas like left and right. So there's a homeless dude standing on the sidewalk where I'm trying to park the car, like on that spot because it's in between two cars. So I pull up to get to the car in front, so I get mirror to mirror. When I'm going back, the nigga's still standing there, and all of a sudden this nigga starts peeing, but he got his dick out. Like,
Just not even trying to hide it.
no, this nigga had his full dick out. So, and I'm trying to like park and look through the rear view in the back, and I see this nigga's dick just out there trying to pee, and I'm like, this nigga's really like he's seen me back in. He's not trying to move. He's trying to finish his pee.
You talking about dicks? LA Fitness locker room is the weirdest.
Oh man,
shit
they don't care.
in the world. Like I get out the shower, right? I usually get out the shower. I try to like get dressed quick as fuck so I can get out.
Yeah.
This dude is just standing in the mirror, dick out, no towel, just
Dog,
like
so
flexing and shit.
I'm
like,
pulling into the back, trying to get in, and then finally, when he's fucking done up, goddamn, this nigga was peeing like a minute. You could like he had all types of shit that he was.
It's like, nigga, where you get all these liquors from?
Right, this nigga just and then he was holding, and I could not see it because I was trying to get back up, and I'm like pulling in, and the fucking his dick is just flinging out there, and then he sees me, and then he finds like, oh shit, he gotta park the car. And I'm like, and I get out the car, like, I guess when you gotta go, huh? And he's like, yeah, because they don't be letting me just pee anywhere. And I'm just like, man, well, I'm like, thanks for showing me your dick, man. Have a good night. Like, it was just.
What if?
But this is the thing. There was another nigga like standing there, but like you couldn't pee on the wall. Like, what happened to peeing on the wall? I remember back in the day when I was a kid coming up, when my mom used to walk. We used to walk home from the train station, and I had to like really go, and I'm like, I can't hold it, mom. She's like, all right, just go pee on the wall.
Yeah.
Like New York, you niggas just pee on the wall. Like niggas was just peeing in empty
Just
parking
out,
spots.
Like, yeah, these LA niggas is different.
I got
LA
piss on my
homeless.
tires. on my right back tire.
Like what if like he didn't want to move and you had to fight him? Would you have fought him with his dick out?
I got a friend who does joke about fighting a nigga with his dick out. You don't want to fight a nigga with his dick out because if you lose, you always gonna remember that you're gonna be remembered as the nigga that lost to the dude with his dick out. So,
I see the video on Twitter, right? It was
there's a video where the guy fought with his dick out, right?
Dog,
He was hard trying to punch
Not
him.
even that. It was like some girl's recording and you see the white boy, he's pissed off and he's walking, right? He opens the door and sees like this dude fucking this girl. And it's not the guy's girl, he just was fucking. He's like, yo, what the fuck, man? You left us outside. We've been waiting for like 10 minutes. He's like, yo, it's been 10 minutes, just hold on. He's like, is this what you fucking doing? You fucking? He's like, He's like, yeah, man, I've only been going 10 minutes, relax. And he starts like hitting the nigga, but the whole time he's hitting him, the nigga never got out the pussy. He just stayed in the pussy while the nigga kept hitting him. He's like trying to block it, and he's holding the girl's leg and
What
shit.
pussy is that good where you stay in it even though you know a nigga about to fight you? Like, that's
That
crazy.
shit was hilarious, dog.
And what's the girl doing?
She was just laying there. She's like, get out of here. Get out. And the guy he's like holding her leg like, nah, I ain't getting out.
I
But
ain't getting out.
like, you know what I mean? Like, get away.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, so that was, I'm never going to unsee that. Every time I look at my back mirror now, I'm
You
just
had
going
an
to be.
eventful evening.
Yeah, man. And I was trying to go to some party for some BET Awards shit, but then when I went to go get my man, he was asleep. So I was like, niggas is getting old out here, man.
Yeah.
So Tone, you came to the table with some topics to talk about. Let's get into what's transpired over the past couple weeks. That was trending. That's
I guess
that's culture worthy.
you wanna cover NBA first, or
We can do that later.
okay.
Let's get into the shit.
So
This niggas come here hands folded.
our fellow brother Cuba Gooding Jr.
Used to be Gooding.
Yeah, used to be Gooding. They call him Cuba Groping Jr. Turned himself into the proper authorities for groping a white woman.
White. In a club setting.
Yeah, in a club setting. I mean, I seen the video.
I feel like he got set up.
Yeah, it felt like he got set up. And when he went to touch her, she didn't like say no.
She let the hand was riding on that
she
ass
let
for
it
like
happen,
2 minutes.
and she was talking to him and
Yeah.
whatever. But then I guess something happened, and
Look,
now it's he groped me. So
I'm not gonna lie. I would be lying if I said I don't be trying to put a hand on a body part when I'm trying to like gauge the temperature of if she's feeling me or not. And if she's gonna let me rock it, then I'm gonna keep the hand there. And if she's telling me like, hey, I don't really feel like that's cool to do, I have no problem taking my hand away.
yeah,
But she seemed to like not
Yeah.
have a problem with it. So for the fact that after 2 minutes, while another girl was present, and I think another guy was present,
yeah.
because the video was kind of clear. It read kind of weird to me, and I felt like it was a lot for him to have to turn himself in and do all this shit. Because now, you know, you getting harassment charges. It's a case. You got to go to court for whatever at that, and then you know, I'm assuming that it's probably gonna settle. But you know, he could countersue and go defamation of character if he wants. But
definitely.
like, yeah, I feel like Cuba's been pretty quiet throughout his career. I think the only criticism when it came to like him dating or love was that he didn't really pursue black women. I think he's had that kind of stigma, but like he's never really had any issues or things like that. And in this Me Too era, it just feels like I hate that he got caught up in that.
Yep.
You know,
I mean,
I
brother.
don't think it's gonna kill him.
Brother Shabazz would be ashamed because, like, he's warned us before, stay away from them white women, dog.
Okay.
You don't know who Brother Shabazz is, right?
Was he on Dopey and Menace to South Central?
Brother Shabazz.
From which movie?
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna show you who Brother Shabazz is.
I probably seen it, but
I got a couple videos of him on my page, on the Comedy Bones page.
okay.
So like, I'll show you Brother Shabazz.
No doubt.
He's the AKA Conspiracy Negro.
The original? Well, there's been a lot of conspiracy.
He's
niggas.
one of.
He's one of. Okay,
You know what I
because
mean?
there's like at least
A
7.
long line of
a
conspiracy
long line of-
Negroes. Yeah.
who feel like white women are the devil.
Yes.
No offense, Haley.
Yeah. No offense.
So yeah, Cuba. I feel like he should have known. He should know better. But if he felt like those girls he had a relationship with those girls, then I ain't mad at that because it's
Yeah.
like you've dealt with these women. Then all of a sudden you got your hand on a chick's ass in the club for like 2 minutes, and then all of a sudden she's saying you sexually harassed her and made him feel comfortable and all this other kinds of shit. So yeah, I hope that kind of gets rectified. I hope he doesn't have to settle too much out of court because yeah.
Speaking of harassment, another brother, Lavar Ball. I know a lot of y'all hate him.
Tony, you're going to have to hold this down because the nigga had to wipe a boogie with his fingers.
All right, go ahead. Lavar Ball just recently caught some flack for, I guess, allegedly sexually harassing Molly Qerim on ESPN. And because of that, he has been banned indefinitely from ESPN. And I believe I have the clip here. Give me a second. I can play it for y'all.
Lavar, can I switch gears with you because I have a question here.
You can switch gears with me anytime.
Let's stay focused here. All right.
Okay. She asked him to switch gears. He said, you can switch gears with me anytime. And she paused for a second. Let's keep it on track, and she made it awkward.
And Stephen A. Smith also looked at him too.
Yeah, Stephen A. was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
But that's just Stephen A. being Stephen A. His publicist came out with a statement saying that he meant no sexual intent. He didn't mean it that way, and yada yada. She said that Jalen may have wanted a public apology, but you know LeVar.
Well, Jalen also works at ESPN, so he could have been very vocal.
Yeah.
There's a chance that could happen where he's just like, yo, dead that about him coming through on the show anymore, and they just, Jalen's a big money maker. He's working on like 3 or 4 of their shows, and Molly's a big part of First Take. I can see where she could definitely feel like he was inappropriate or whatever like that, even though there's proof of a clip where the last time he appeared, she said to switch gears, as that's usually a transition line for her since she's the she's the moderator.
Yeah.
And he kind of was the same silly way again, except it was just so clear with the switch gears anytime. And I think they've had a problem with some of the guests where they might be a little inappropriate with Molly, but like, and just because you use a word that can be insinuated in sexual pseudo like conversation, that doesn't give a guy the license to blatantly disrespect a married woman.
Yeah.
But I really don't feel like LeVar had that kind of intention.
Right. And also, it's also the affliction of how you say it. So
Yeah.
Literally, I can say anything
Yeah.
and make it sound sexual.
For sure.
I'll be like, hey, can you pass me the mic? I'll pass you the mic anytime.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
if I say it that way, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, you gonna pass me your dick? Like, what do you mean, pass the mic? What the fuck you mean?
I got caught up in your eye gaze that time too. I ain't gonna lie.
Like, it reminds me, like, when your girl arguing with you and you say, okay.
Yeah.
And she's like, what the fuck you mean, okay? Like, it could mean, like, okay, I get you, or okay, like, just shut up.
And when you do the okay, like well,
you know
clearly,
what I mean?
you getting angry.
He also TMZ caught up with him.
Okay.
And, he said this.
Let's hear it.
Last week, reportedly on ESPN, you were banned from all their platforms.
I'm gonna be banned, and I don't work for them. I gotta be banned from ESPN. I got my own show.
Was your comment? What was your comment? I mean, when they could switch gears at any time. I mean, we didn't see it.
I don't even have to respond to that on the fact that I meant no sexual intent or nothing on the fact that switch gears mean change topics to me.
Right.
Her mind in the gutter if she thinking something else. Only time I hit on her if she breaking in my house and I was mistaken for the boogeyman.
Hey, I like.
Talk your shit, King.
There you have it.
Fuck them.
Yeah, Molly, not one of her better days. Just kind of like, sometimes it's like that woman who like feels like everybody's trying to holler at her, and it's like
and she
Molly is
probably
an attractive
yeah,
woman.
she probably does have dudes trying to holler at her all the time. You know what I'm saying?
But not LeVar, married man whose wife was
on national TV.
On national TV, you very bold. Sometimes that's like the hiding in plain sight shit, but I don't think that applies here.
Just like I don't know, Mel B. When she was on that show and that white dude put his hand on her ass.
Right.
I was like, yo, this nigga crazy.
Yeah, he violated.
Like
yeah.
she literally stopped there. She's like, hold on. What are you doing? He's
Yeah.
like, oh,
sorry.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm supporting you. I'm like, nigga,
Nigga,
what?
don't support with your hand on my ass.
And he was like tapping it. I'm like, oh, this guy's crazy.
I'm glad she did that though.
Yeah.
Guys be fucking up sometimes, but if you watch the clip, I really don't think it comes off as him sincerely trying to like flirt with her in that way. And when you say you could switch gears with me anytime, but he's an old school dude, so it's like a lot of old school slang when they're like talking to women. They put a little thing on it, and LeVar just has that old school infectious nature to him.
And I think because of the way he is, he was just trying to be quick with the response. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But you know how many times I try to ask a girl for something, like at the mall or something, and they think like I'm trying to get at them.
Right.
I'm in the club and like I need to get through and I'm tapping them like, yo, excuse me, and I get, oh, don't touch me. I'm like, yo, get the fuck out my way then. Like I ain't trying to talk to you. Get away from me. Like I just want to get through. I don't fucking want you.
He's just trying to get through.
Damn. Like, I fucking hate that.
Don't make Tony yell at you in the club. You ain't gonna like it.
Fuck.
He don't give a shit.
They kicked me out that day.
Okay.
I was too rambunctious.
We learned our lesson. Learned our lesson. Oh, okay. So next into people who just be doing the most. OJ, y'all, is back. He's on Twitter.
This nigga's on
talking to the people. Oh, fucking OJ won't go away, man.
Yo, as soon as he got an account, I don't know who is behind the internet, but somebody hacked his account. And the first tweet that was there
the juice
was,
is loose.
I killed her.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah. I was like, yo.
Hashtag.
I was like, yo, is this for real? And I saw like he had a check by his name. I'm like,
Yo, it's the verified
I'm
OJ.
like, this guy's crazy. And then I seen like later on, it was, oh, I was hacked, and then they deleted the tweet.
You think it was really hacked?
I
did also see the juice is loose hashtag.
Yeah, I seen that. But he got into an argument with some guy, right? And somebody had put out some tweets about him, and he DM'd the dude. He's like, yo, you need to remove those tweets. And he's like, or what? He's like, do you know who I am? I can find you. And he's like, oh, I know who you are, and I know you can find me. He's like, oh, you think it's a game? He's like, sadly, I don't think it's a game.
That's OJ saying sadly?
No, the guy was like, sadly. He's like, unfortunately, I know it's not a game. You've killed before, you will kill again.
Damn! Oh, shit.
I tell you about the time he came to Chaminade, right, during our basketball game?
Now, tell me about the time he came to Chaminade.
I fucked his son up.
What?
Yeah, his son went for a layup, and I smacked his shit to the wall. And then, like, everybody's hyping me up. And then I looked to the crowd, and this nigga's standing in the crowd like this, just looking.
Oh, nigga, you about to kill you.
I'm like, oh. I was like, oh.
This was like a tournament, not a.
No, his son went to Gulliver Prep. So
wow.
they were in our district, so we played them in football.
Oh, gotcha.
His son fucked me up in football. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
We played them in football, and we played them in basketball. We played them twice a year.
I didn't know he had. How many kids does he have?
I think he has 2 sons and a girl.
Oh, gotcha.
Or either
because
2 sons and a girl, or one.
There was an older son who was grown when the killing happened, so he had like another one later on. Okay, got you. Yeah, OJ's tweeting. This guy, he's funny, man.
He did come out and say that Chloe is not his daughter.
Oh, really? So he's refuting those that he's not the daddy.
Yeah.
Him and Chris wasn't messing around. That's hard. That's a hard one. He could tell me that. We could still not believe it though.
I know she was messing around, but maybe just not with him. But
she like that black D man.
She looks like OJ too much.
She does
in the head, like
that forehead.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, the truth will always come to the light.
Yeah, everything will come to light sooner or later.
Sooner or later,
except for that murder, because we still don't know.
Nobody's gonna get that murder right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just get some gears. Let's talk some black community shit. So Ava DuVernay was on Van Lathan's podcast. Shout outs to Van Lathan from TMZ. And in the discussion on the podcast, they got into some just conversational things where, like, in the culture, when you're kind of not perceived as a woman in her prime, 20s, 30s, and you're kind of hitting like cougar age or whatever, the black men will always sort of refer to them as an auntie, because by then you figure if she don't have kids, she might have siblings who have kids, or she's just kind of like, you know what I'm saying, not a parent, but just an older woman.
She's a parental figure.
But
we won't call you
who
mom.
you look to for guidance,
but
we won't call you mom, so we call you auntie.
Yeah.
Like, because the auntie's like your mom's best friend, and you hang out with her. So when your mom is giving you some advice, she might be there to give you some advice, and you just always put her in like that auntie box, even if So Ava DuVernay really refuted that, because even though she's an older woman, she's a successful woman, and has bestowed wisdom on the culture with her writing as well as her voice, she doesn't want to be classified as an auntie. She's like, I'm not an auntie. I'm not your auntie. Like, don't call me that. And then Oprah and Gayle, they sort of let that be known that they don't like being perceived in the auntie figure, because neither of them have children.
And she was. I remember Oprah specifically saying that I don't want anybody calling me auntie unless you are my family, right?
Right.
Like I'm your actual auntie, and also because it makes me feel old. That's what she said.
I mean, if they feel old, they
feel. You 65 years old, Oprah. You are old, but there's nothing wrong with being old.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you're old, you're old. There's nothing wrong with being old. So what? Don't put a negative stigma on being old, and don't put a negative stigma on being called auntie. You know what I mean? It's not a negative thing.
But to her, it bothers her. Like,
okay, I know if she doesn't want to be called that, don't call her that. You gotta respect
right. You gotta respect that.
But on her part, don't put a negative stigma on it.
True. Because it's not. Yeah. Auntie is always a positive thing. Like, we never mean disrespect. We never mean ill intent. It's no way by any means to degrade the stage you are at in life.
Just like back in high school when I used to call you nigga. Like, what up, nigga? You're like, don't call me that. Yeah. Call me your brother. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, I remember you were going through that stage. You're like, I'm not gonna use that word anymore.
Yeah.
I'm using my brother instead. I was like, are you Muslim? What's going on? What happened to you?
I was trying to, I was thinking about how that word is, and because you know what it was? It was like, I was in such a catch with that because we had so many white kids at the school.
That's what it was.
And it was just like we were saying nigga too freely around them. And most of them kept their mouths in check and would not refer to any black people as nigga, or they wouldn't say it in front of us. But I just felt like, yo, we just letting it fly so much. Maybe we should just try to not do that.
Yeah, they don't do that shit to me though.
I mean,
I got to fight for that shit.
I mean, you let it be if you let it be known that hey, like we're gonna pull off this one-sided thing where we can say nigga freely, but y'all can't say that because it's our word or whatever.
I won't call them nigga.
I won't. But
You know
what happened
I'm
was there was dudes at the school calling them nigga.
Yeah.
Like what up, my nigga? Like they was doing that, and that kind of puts a flux. Like I can imagine what kind of mindfuck that is to a white dude who's like growing up with black people, going to school, playing school ball, black people. They listening to all of the same music we listening to, and you know that word is just being tossed in there. It's in their psyche. You know they're obsessed with that word, probably more than we are. So that was just a weird time. So I was just trying to like deviate. And even like on my social media, I don't say nigga when I'm referencing things. I probably have like now and then, but like I really try hard not to say niggas on status or whatever because I just don't want to put that word out there where I know I'm being followed by white people as well. It's just my personal thing. So, you know, stigma is everything. Yeah, but I mean, Auntie Michael B. Jordan, you know, did the hey auntie thing, but you know, she was actually his auntie by birthright. So Angela Bassett, that applied there, but yeah, I guess if these women don't want to be called auntie, I mean, you know, you can't say shit. But
just don't make it seem like it's a bad.
It's not a bad thing though. I don't think it's a bad thing.
I get you don't want to call it, but don't try to make it seem like we shouldn't be calling anybody that because it's a terrible thing. It's not.
Yeah. What else we got before we jump into NBA talk?
What we did Oprah, we did Lavar. Before we go into NBA talk, last thing. I know you like Carmelo. That's your boy.
Wadudos, Carmelo from Brooklyn.
I really fucked with Carmelo. I'm still mad that Max would pick, who was it? Blake Griffin over Carmelo because they were doing him and Stephen A were doing like a top, and then he was like, I want to put Carmelo in the top 25 or something like that, and then he named Blake over.
Because basketball, it's weird in basketball because there are such a thing as a stats impact. There's a winning impact. There's a usage impact in basketball, and then there's also, and this is what makes it different from baseball and football. Baseball and football, one man can't be the whole thing outside of a quarterback in a way. Because there's more guys who play on the roster, you need more parts to make the things work. With basketball, there are individuals who can single-handedly impact a franchise. And basketball has so many criteria in which a guy's apply, in which his greatness can factor in. There are cases to be made where you could say Blake is a more impactful guy than Carmelo. But sometimes it also depends on what option is the guy. Is it when he's the number one option? Is it when he's the number two? When he's the number three? Usually the top three.
Max said, because Stephen A was like, you think Blake has a better skill set? And he said yes.
Okay. You want to debate that? I can debate that objectively. That Blake. So we're talking now. Let's talk their prime years. Blake at 29, Melo at 29, right? So Blake just had his 29 season, right? Now Melo at 29 season, I think he was like 5th in MVP voting. He had like 28 a game. He was playing the 4. I think the Knicks had him at the 4, and he was killing small forwards or power forwards on mismatches. He rebounded pretty well, I think, that year, and I think that was like the Knicks' best season when they won like 50 games. But Blake has the ability to run an offense at times.
Blake Griffin?
If you watch the Pistons, because I watched the Pistons play this year. Blake was the primary ball handler and usually he ran the offense probably half the time along with Reggie Jackson. He shared it. So they would Blake would run pick and roll with Drummond. Blake would have top of the key plays. And he averaged like 5 to 6 assists along with rebounding, like 8-9 rebounds a game. So he's such an all-around guy now.
But he did that for one season, though.
Well, I'm saying, but this is what he.
So basically, what you're saying, you're just going to take his best season.
I would compare them at their primes in terms of what they can do because when you come into the league at 20, 21, 19 or whatever, there's things you can do that's great off the bat, but you're also you have potential to fill out your game. Blake rookie season was crazy dunks, really good rebounder. Will kill you in transition and can get you 20 and 10 a night. Melo was a 20 to 25 a game scorer pretty much his first 7-8 years. He built his three-point shot, and he pretty much came into the league as a 3-level scorer, and he just got more efficient, right? So Melo was an efficient 3-level scorer. Blake was about 1 to 2, but then he expanded his range to the point where now he has a decent 3-point shot, but he also runs the offense for a team. Where Melo never really ran an offense. He had the flashes where he can make some good passes and he can handle off the dribble, but he didn't really try to run an offense. You have to sort of run the offense around him.
All I can say is, Madal Melo put that Denver team on his fucking back.
He did.
And if it wasn't for the Lakers,
He'd be in the finals.
he'd be in the finals.
That's
but
true.
It is what it is.
It's
you know
true.
what I mean?
Now that's true. He's gone. He's taken his teams further as a lead guy than Blake has.
Yes.
That is very true. But I would say, and we're not going to go into, well, he didn't have this on his team because Blake was on very talented teams, just like Melo has been on very talented teams. But I think if you talk about in terms of how many with different ways a guy can impact the game, I would give the edge on Blake because Blake has already showed his ability to like handle the ball and run the offense for a team where Melo just never did that or didn't want to do that. Watch him next year because he'll probably be able to do this for another year or two.
I'm going to.
You see
And
how
every time he fucks up, I'm gonna text you. I'm like, "This is your king. Is this your king?
The nigga
This who
averaged
you chose over Carmelo?
25, 8, and 5 though.
That's cool. That's cool. It's all right.
If he's shooting better field goal percentages, if he's more efficient, right?
Right.
I mean, and granted, I love Melo. Melo's a great all-time great scorer, but the other dimensions of his game, he never really cared to unlock. I don't think either of them have been much on defense. I guess I would give Blake a little bit more of an edge defensively, but none of them have really ever made that much of an impact on the defensive side of the ball. So, but yeah, Melo has accomplished more in his career than Blake for sure, because Blake has battled way more injuries than Melo has. But it's a decent argument that Blake can be more impactful in the game than Melo. But I think Melo's just been consistently greater throughout his career. So
let me get back to the topic.
Okay,
right?
sorry,
Let me
Melo.
Let me
sorry,
just
that
ask
was a
you this
Melo
question. So,
yeah.
Melo's baby mother says that Lala doesn't accept the child that they have, right?
And this is when Melo and Lala split for a year because he cheated, allegations of cheating and stuff like that.
And then he cheated and he
Yeah.
got that girl pregnant.
Yeah.
So he provides financially for the kid,
Right.
but he's not in the kid's life because Lala doesn't want him in the kid's life because she doesn't
Wanted anything to do with that whole
Yeah.
situation in her life. Yeah.
So I'm asking you, I know you don't have any kids, but if you did, right,
Yeah.
what would you do in that situation? Are you going to totally abandon your kid? You'll give him money or whatever, but you just won't be in his life.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I can do that. Once you bring a child into this world, that child deserves two parents.
He's part of you.
He's part of you. That's a reminder of who you are. It's a tough choice because when you commit to marry someone, that's your partner, that's your life partner, that's who you build everything with. And if they're pretty much, and I don't know their business, so I'm thinking that maybe it was like a hypothetical. He had to make a choice, and if he wanted to stay married, this is how he would have to do it. And Melo made a hard choice, or maybe it's you can't be present now because who's to say that maybe in a couple of years they won't change their mind.
Right. My thing
Since
is,
they just kind of reconciled this year and started being seen together publicly.
Right. I mean, in my opinion, I'm going with my kid because I know I was wrong for cheating or whatever, but you decided to take me back.
Yeah.
Right? You decided to take me back. You knew what came with this. I have a kid.
Yeah.
That is my kid. You
Yeah.
can't tell me I can't be in my kid's life. That's crazy.
Yeah,
You know what I
I mean, Gabrielle and Dwayne Wade went to a similar situation, except where they were on a break, I believe, at the time, and then Dwayne Wade had a break baby with another woman.
You mean his original wife or Gabrielle Union?
No, Gabrielle Union. Then they were separated for a minute, and then while they were doing their own thing, he got another woman pregnant. As we know, because Gabrielle Union had complications having a baby for a long time, and while
I know that probably hurt.
while they were separated, he ended up having a child. So, but then they worked it out. You know what I mean? And I think he's an active part of the child's life. I mean, it's tough, but I feel like hopefully that can change because the baby's only probably a year and some change old, and the baby's not really aware. And if that can happen, that would be great.
And
That's what I would hope for.
Also, what kind of person do you got to be,
right?
To tell somebody.
But that's also her side of the story.
Right.
So it's just an accusation. So we don't know if that's true.
Okay, I'm just going off of that though.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
I'm just
for sure.
With the facts that were giving me, or whatever that was giving
the
me.
material.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of person do you got to be like, nah, you can't. You either choose your son or me. I know it's an infidelity sign.
It comes off very selfish.
Yeah, it's very. I get you were wrong.
And
right?
it hurt. It caused.
But if you want to stay with that person, you can't do that.
You
in
can't,
my
no.
opinion.
Yeah, you can't.
You know what I mean?
So yeah, hopefully they work it out. Like I said, I don't know. The Melo fan in me doesn't want to believe that the baby's his, but it's probably his. Well, shame on you, Wadudos. Damn, that's really sad though. That sucks. That child doesn't deserve that. Anything else before we hit the NBA and kind of get into the shits?
Nah, that's it.
All right, so we had the NBA draft this past Thursday night. My New York Knicks selected R.J. Barrett, the phenom from Duke. He averaged 22 a game, 7 rebounds, 4 assists.
Who did the Lakers draft? Who they draft?
It don't matter. He's not with y'all. Y'all traded his ass and the rest of the niggas for Anthony Davis.
These niggas traded everything.
They traded the house, the garage, the dog,
the shoes off their feet,
shoes off their feet, the clothes on their back. So yeah, we got R.J. Barrett.
Did you hear the rumor? When you're done with this.
Yeah, so I think and Zion obviously went number 1 to Pelicans. John Morant is one of probably the best point guard in the draft. Went to the Grizzlies at number 2, and we got RJ number 3. A lot of good lottery picks and stuff like that, and some players who had their big night getting drafted. That's always cool because in that moment right there, that's probably the biggest night of their life. Like all of these guys, 60 guys who got drafted, they're all gonna get some shape of money that will probably change their financial status than what they had before. Usually, in 8 to 10 years, 70% of those guys ain't even on the teams anymore, if yet on the league. But for right now, this is like the dopest thing that could happen to them. So guys got drafted, guys gonna get paid, guys gonna get a chance to play in the league with the big boys. They get to achieve their lifelong dream. I'm really excited about RJ Barrett. When the Knicks are rebuilding, they're doing the proper rebuild with young pieces and young talent. I think he could be a really, really good player. He comes from a good pedigree. Steve Nash is his godfather. His dad played college basketball and played overseas.
What is it? Canadian Mamba? Maple Mamba.
The Maple Mamba, that's right.
That is such a stupid name.
We got the Maple motherfucking Mamba, son. Let's get over the mic, son. Maple Mamba, nigga. I'm happy. I want to see what he does. I don't think he's going to dominate out the gate. I think he's going to put up numbers. It depends on if the Knicks get good free agents, how efficient he'll be next year. So if we do sign a Kyrie or a Kawhi, that would be very good for his first year because he won't have to carry the load. But if he does have to be the guy next year, then it's going to be a lot of stats, but just a lot of chucking and just trying to figure out and make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So that's.
I mean, I fucks with the pick.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, I think RJ will be good. He got some holes in his game, but he looks like he has a good work ethic. So you can always get better as a shooter. You can always get better with your shiftiness off the dribble because that's one of his weaknesses is that he lacks shiftiness. He's very north-south. He doesn't have like a little in the middle game, and he's a little rigid but a little stiff sometimes. And his right hand, like he doesn't have he goes left a lot. So that people they will game plan for that. He'll his first month he'll go off and then they'll start figuring him out. So he'll have to learn. He's got to learn some moves, which they say he's doing. So I'm going to summer league. Opening weekend,
July 5th
through the 7th. I'm going for the 5th and 6th. I'm gonna watch. So they got Zion versus RJ in the first game. That's gonna be crazy.
I'm gonna be in Atlanta.
So what you got to say? Sorry.
I'm being in Atlanta for that. I wish I could go.
Oh, you going for it?
I'm
going back though the 11th and 12th. If you gonna be back in
Stephon?
town. Francis.
Yeah.
A homie. Yes.
Yeah. He's getting married. I'm in the wedding, so that's why. I'm.
Well, I don't know why you ain't get married, nigga. My bad. But Stephon, congratulations, bro. I still gotta try. I gotta come down and eat some of your food, man. You've been telling me you a top chef out here. Can you confirm that?
Oh yeah.
He throws down.
Before he actually got like on with his own business, like he's always been cooking because he used to stay at my house.
Right.
So like he'll just grab some shit out the fridge, like yo, you hungry, and he'll just whip some shit up and he can cook.
Yeah, next
I ain't
time.
gonna lie, I was shaky at first. I'm like,
they moving to Atlanta, or you just having a wedding there?
He's having the wedding there.
Okay. When you get back?
I come back the day after the wedding, so July 6th, I come back the 7th.
All right, so I'm going back again the 11th and 12th with Pat.
Good.
We're gonna go out there and watch. So if you want to pull over, we'll go on a little road trip.
Yeah, we'll
so
do it.
all right, so how are your thoughts about the draft? What do you want to know?
I heard.
What's up?
That we're not talking about the draft because my team didn't draft anything.
Yeah, Lakers at the 4 selected DeAndre Hunter, which is going to be moved to the Atlanta Hawks. That was the trade.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
That the Pelicans had the pick, and then they moved it to DeAndre Hunter. So they after the Anthony Davis trade, that's what happened.
I heard that after the trade, after they confirmed the trade, supposedly Rob Pelinka didn't know how the fucking salary cap worked.
Yeah, there was a cap mismanagement issue.
Yeah, and like he was like scrambling to like try to like fix the trade because he didn't realize that he's not gonna have any salary cap
to sign
left.
a max.
So
Yeah.
it's like he might not. I'm okay with that though. Like might not be able to sign another max. Get a bunch of role players. There's good people on the board that you can sign.
So you're on board with 2 stars and just really make the team deep after that instead
Yeah.
of going for the 3rd star.
Yeah.
I agree because we talked about the trade after when we was texting after that happened. I really feel like the Kawhi season with the Raptors showed you like, yeah, Kyle Lowry is his 2nd All-Star because Kyle Lowry did play like an All-Star this year, and he's still relatively in his prime, but he probably has another good year or two at a high level. Marc Gasol is a former All-Star, former Defensive Player of the Year, a veteran that helped them win the title. Ibaka's been a good starter for his career, coming off the bench helping out. Danny Green, good role player. But so he did have a 2nd All-Star, not 2 superstars, but a superstar, an All-Star, and a good amount of veterans and experienced guys who fit the needs can really still beat a team that was very top-heavy with 2 to 3 superstars and an All-Star, but then very little much else. They had some role players, but they're kind of like on their last leg. And guys who just couldn't really step up after the main guys were unfortunately injured in the series, a la Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson.
And let me explain something to you.
Explain.
The Warriors are hurt, so the West is
Wide open.
wide open.
Yes.
It's
Spread
open.
those cheeks.
It's wide open, boy. I can't wait to see what the West is going to be.
Next year is actually really going to be like a wild, wild West scenario. There's going to be so many teams just going for it. I think Golden State's still good enough to get to the playoffs. They're going to have a tougher regular season because they're going to be in a lot more games. They're going to be blowing teams out. They're going to have to really, really play hard. Draymond and Steph are going to have to bring it. But I feel like they'll get somebody in free agency that'll kind of offset the loss. They're good. They're a good franchise, so they're going to figure out some things to make it work for them. But yeah, I mean, Denver's a year better. They're all young. These guys is hungry. Portland, I expect to be good again. The Thunder still have 2 superstars. Who knows what else they'll do, but they got 2 guys who can, who could do damage still in Thunder and Westbrook. The Lakers, I have to just put them in for now just because of the strength that they have. LeBron James, who's still one of the best in the game, top 5, top 3. Anthony Davis, top 5, and he's 26 going into his prime. He's probably only going to get better. And you just got to see what parts they get because I think depending on how they try to go in free agency can really determine their ceiling because I feel like, if they really spread the money out, get 2 to 3 guys with the main money, and then, you spend the rest on minimums, I think that's better than 1 star and then everything else minimums.
Yeah.
I think if you get like a really good shooting guard, a good point guard who can create and defend, and a good guy off the bench, and then or maybe a big off the bench, then you fill out the rest with minimum guys. I think that's
some decent guys on. You got like a Brook Lopez. What I mean,
you could get Brick.
Who could shoot.
There's rumors that they might try to go after D'Angelo Russell, try to bring him back to LA. I think he'd be a great fit as that point guard who can shoot, who could create.
I ain't gonna lie, I hated him for a while because he snitched on my dog. So
He had to grow up. He had some immaturity.
If he comes back and performs, I'm willing to forgive all. You know what I mean?
All things forgiven.
All things forgiven. I'm willing to put it in.
You're welcome, D'Lo back.
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
welcome him back.
I would go after some guys like we talking basketball for the hoop heads. Like I think I would throw some money at a Terrence Ross. I think he could from Orlando.
I like Danny Green too.
Danny Green, if you want to try and steal him from the Raptors, you throw him about $10 million. I think Terrence Ross would be a good shooting guard because he could just light it up. He can handle a little bit, but he could just be a scorer. A point guard like Pat Beverly, a chippy point guard, or
dog.
Yeah, even a Ricky Rubio type ish guy maybe. Like a defender like a Trevor Ariza, you got to come in just to give you some good minutes and maybe a backup big man. There's some guys out there looking to get paid, looking to get seen, and Lakers will have all of that ready for them because there's gonna be all these spots. Playing time is available. They don't have a bench. They don't have a starting point guard or a shooting guard.
We're finally gonna have a winning season, dog. After so long.
So long.
Well, I'm talking to a Knicks fan. I'm sorry. I apologize.
So long.
Hey, when Stephen A. went off on Jay Williams, he's like, "You
Patience?
Patience." He's like, "What's the last time the Knicks won a championship? What is it?
It was 1973.
Yeah.
I was 5 years old. You weren't even born yet.
And he's like, "I actually was, bro." He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. You
6
were in
months.
the crib. You were 6 months. You were 5 months old."
And then Joe
He's
was like, "Actually, I was in the dresser."
He's like, "I was in the top dresser." He goes, "We all were in the top dresser. Don't try to."
I'm trying to downplay the situation. So you got Houston Rockets. You still got James Harden, Chris Paul. Even though they got some friction, the West is gonna be great. It's funny because when you have those dominant teams, the league is fun in one way, but when you have parity, I really want to see what happens when the league is in parity. Like, and that meaning there is no favorite. There's just it's wide open. Like any team could really get it next year. There's more intrigue. I don't feel like it's gonna be predictable. Like everybody kind of figured that Golden State would get to the finals again.
I can't wait to see what Lonzo does though.
And I'm gonna be watching the Pels. That's an exciting
with
team.
Zion,
Yeah, Lonzo, Zion,
really wanna
Brandon
see that.
Ingram.
and I want him to do well, man, because they keep trashing my dog, man.
Yeah, I hope Lonzo can put together a good season. 80 games, hopefully be healthy, and really, take a next step because this is year 3. You're hoping that this is gonna be the breakout year for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Knicks gonna be in summer league. I'm gonna be repping that. We're looking forward to the rookie season. What's up, for RJ?
I got some people in Canada.
Okay.
This is front page news.
What's up?
TMZ shit. I heard that he enrolled his daughter Kawhi. Kawhi enrolled his daughter into a school for for September. So we don't know if he's leaving.
Could that mean that Kawhi actually stays in Toronto?
And I ain't gonna lie, man. They love that dude. They treat him like
nigga. He's a legend.
He's like the LeBron of Canada, except that he's not from fucking Canada.
Right.
He brought them their first chip.
If your sources are correct, I still feel he's going to the Clippers.
I mean, I feel that way, but when I heard the news, it put a smile on my face.
You think he should stay there?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want his ass in the West.
I just don't want him in the West. I don't want Paul to be happy.
Right.
I know you hear me back there, Paul.
Right.
I don't want Paul to be happy.
Yeah, fuck your happiness, Paul. Yeah,
not Paul in particular. Clippers fans. Right. That's what it is.
Yeah, you want to keep stomping on him, don't you?
Yeah, please.
If Toronto were to keep him, that would be great. I feel like even though they got some older guys on the team and Gasol and Lowry who could probably play like another good year where they could run it back, they have Masai Ujiri, the guy who made that trade, and he's been one of the best front office guys in the league for a long time. And I think he can retool like it's nothing. Like once they kind of like, all right, their contracts are up, they're going to have free agency money next year because a lot of those guys contracts expire, so they can look to sign guys or look to trade guys. And I think they can pretty much build a sustainable contender around Kawhi to last him through his prime. And, yeah, I mean, Toronto will be one of the better teams in the league for another 4 or 5 years if he were to stay. Absolutely, just like on him alone. He's going to be 28, so this is his best years right now are ahead of him. So, yeah, that'll be cool. We're going to see who else makes some moves. Kevin Durant with the Achilles, that's still tricky. Free agency pretty much starts next week.
I think you still pay that, man.
I don't know, bro. Nobody comes back from that Achilles the same.
It's Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I know, dog. He's one of my favorite all-time players, but dog, an Achilles is an Achilles.
He was your favorite player coming into the draft.
I was on the hype train.
He's gonna be a superstar. I was like, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. He's a superstar.
He's a superstar. I saw it with him, dog. Like I read when I was reading, he was in the junior coming out of Mount Verde Academy, and then he played his senior year in Oak Hill, and I was just like, yo, I've never seen a guy like this because we saw the 6'10" guys who could dunk it. Who had hops, but all those guys were just athletic guys who didn't have any skill levels. You know what I'm saying? And Durant was just from high school. This nigga had 3-pointers. He could shoot off the dribble. He could dunk. He had all the skills, and he just had to get stronger. And I remember they tried to shit on him too because he couldn't bench press at the combine after Texas season. And Greg Oden was rightfully so. You look back and say, oh, he should have went number 1. I would have done it if I was Portland because I believed in him that much, and I thought he would have played great off of LaMarcus and Brandon Roy. But they wanted at the time the league was all about the big man still.
Ooh.
But you think about Brandon Roy, even though he only gave you 4 years, but even if he was LaMarcus and Durant, the length. Brandon Roy that was a cold motherfucker.
I used to love Brandon Roy.
He came out the gate too, he was ready, but like they said, he probably only had like 5 years on the knees, and that's exactly what he had.
He had the degenerating knee, right?
And he already had scoped knee surgery, and so he was basically playing bone on bone for like a long time. So it was just
playing bone on bone
probably for at least the last 2-3 years.
And he was still balling.
He was still a baller, man.
Damn, dog.
Yeah, you can't erase what he did, even though it was a short 3-4 year window. I mean, the dude came out the gate just getting buckets.
Yeah, he's coaching now.
Yeah, he's the man in Seattle. He coached Michael Porter Jr.
Okay.
So he's running that. He's keeping that. Seattle got some of the best ballers, man.
Yeah.
You want to be I was gonna say you a Seattle program. I was like, if you still had some hoop dreams, they was having pro-am tryouts in Seattle. Jamal Crawford had that at some high school or whatever. But
I'm supposed to be going.
Maybe next year.
I was supposed to be going to Seattle because I got some people up there.
You're gonna go watch?
Yeah, but I might go watch.
Nigga, that's the best league in the world.
The Seattle one?
It's top. It's like up there with the Drew, the Miami run. The New York
speaking of Drew League,
Rucker
this
League.
dude that I played ball with at LA Fitness, his name is Askia.
Okay.
Right? Light skinned dude. I think he plays in Spain. He got the MVP at the Drew League.
The Drew League's already done?
No, it's not done. Like, they have MVP of the day.
Oh, got you.
He had 2 back-to-back nights. They had 44 points.
Fuck. Yeah. I told us I want to go to the Drew this year, so we should go make a trip down there.
When they sent me the shit, I was like, "There's no way this is who I think it is." They're like, "Yeah, that's Ski." I was like, "He balling like that?" Because he balls at LA, but it's like it's LA. You know what I mean? But he's balling on like ballers.
You try to get into the Drew now, huh? You
Shit.
getting the bug?
Shit, man, I'm itching, man.
All right.
I might go out.
All right.
Oh, you should have came out yesterday, man. I put one on somebody's head.
Like,
no, I ain't dunk on nobody. I did dunk it, but not on somebody.
Okay.
I just kind of like weaved through the lane, and somebody was kind of standing there. He didn't jump, but I'm gonna take that one though.
Take it, nigga.
Oh fuck.
Take all of them. All right, man. So yeah, we can't wait to see what free agency unfolds. It's gonna be crazy. This next week gonna be just a chill week, but we're just doing some shows, just everybody grinding. So with that being said, why don't you plug the socials, Tony? How can the people follow you?
At Comedian Bones and at Ty Sterling. Comedian Bones preferably though.
That's what's up. You got any shows?
No shows yet. Still doing open mics. Just trying to get my face out there, man.
That's
you
what's
do the
up.
open mics like you do the open gyms. You just keep going.
That's what's up.
Until somebody fuck with you.
Keep grinding. I don't think I performed last night. I don't think I have anything on the books as of now.
Tell you, man.
We'll talk about it.
With that, yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying good job. You performed. You did your thing.
Oh yeah. It was a nice little show at the J Spot. That's a club you should actually start going to. You should frequent that. Right. That's around the way from you, Manchester.
Right. I'm gonna try that.
In Inglewood. It's a spot for black comedians. You can just kind of get your foot in there. You'll get stage time. Just kind of start building with some other kind of comedy. Mm-hmm. That's why I said my thing is just be very broad with it. Just like hit different rooms. Don't just stay in the same circuit because it's just that black circuit is way smaller, but there's value in it too. Mm-hmm. So but yeah, man, just keep supporting the podcast. Follow us at For the Culture Live. We want to push more audience engagement, so if you guys want to ask us some stuff and we could kind of answer, do some Q&A, we'd love to. We're considering going live maybe next week. We might do that. So yeah, just subscribe, rate, download the podcast, share it with your friends. You can follow me at Nick of Comedy, all things Nick of Comedy, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And y'all have a good week, man. Be blessed.
Peace.
Peace.